Hey, quick question. When was the last time you woke up in the morning, jumped out of bed, and thought, yes, let's go. I am ready to take on the world?
Oh, wow. Starting strong today, aren't we?
I'm serious though, because most people I talk to, and I mean most, they wake up, hit the snooze button 2, 3, sometimes 5 times, drag themselves out of bed, and then spend the whole day feeling like they're running on empty.
Okay, that is me. That is literally me every single morning.
And that's exactly why we're talking about this today. Because staying motivated, not just once in a while, not just when something exciting is happening, but every single day, that is a skill. And like any skill, you can learn it, you can practice it, and you can get better at it.
I love that you said it's a skill because most people think motivation is just something you either have or you don't. Like some people are just naturally motivated and the rest of us are just stuck.
Exactly. And that idea that motivation is just a personality trait, that idea is holding so many people back. Today, we are going to break that down completely.
Yes, and if you are someone who struggles to stay consistent, who starts things with a lot of energy and then loses steam halfway through, this conversation is for you.
So stay with us. We're going to talk about what motivation actually is, why it disappears, and the real practical things you can do every single day to keep it alive. Welcome to the podcast.
Let's get into it.
Okay, Sarah, let's start at the very beginning, because I think a lot of people use the word motivation, but they don't really stop to think about what it actually means.
Right. It's one of those words you hear all the time. I need more motivation. I've lost my motivation. I just can't find the motivation. But what is it exactly?
So at its most basic level, motivation is the reason you do something. It's the internal force, the energy that pushes you to take action. It's what gets you moving.
So it's like the engine?
Exactly. Great analogy. It's the engine. And here's the thing about engines. They don't just run forever on their own. You have to fuel them. You have to maintain them. And if you ignore them for too long, they break down.
Oh, I like that. So motivation isn't just something that magically appears and stays forever. You have to actively keep it going.
Precisely. And this is where most people go wrong. They wait for motivation to appear before they take action. They think, when I feel motivated, I'll start going to the gym. Or, when I feel motivated, I'll work on my business idea. But that's backwards.
Wait, that's backwards? What do you mean?
I mean that action actually comes first, and then motivation follows. It's not motivation, then action. It's action, then motivation.
Okay, that is mind-blowing to me. Can you explain that a little more?
Sure. Think about a time when you really didn't want to do something. Maybe you didn't want to go for a walk, or you didn't want to start writing something, but you forced yourself to start. And then, after a few minutes of actually doing it, you started to feel better. You got into it. You felt this little spark of energy.
Oh my gosh, yes. That happens to me with exercise all the time. I absolutely do not want to go, and then I'm there, I'm doing it, and I'm thinking, why don't I do this more often?
That feeling, that spark that you get once you're already in motion, that's motivation. It showed up after you took action, not before.
So we've been doing it wrong this whole time. We've been sitting around waiting to feel motivated when actually we should just start.
Start, even if it's small, even if it feels uncomfortable. The motivation will come. Psychologists actually have a term for this. It's called the motivation action loop. Action creates motivation, which creates more action, which creates more motivation.
Okay, so it's a loop, a cycle. And the key is to break into the cycle by just starting.
Exactly right. Break into the cycle. That's a great way to put it.
I love that expression, by the way. Break into the cycle. It sounds like you're breaking into a building, like you're sneaking in through the back door of motivation.
I love that image. Yes, you're basically sneaking into motivation through the back door of action.
Okay, so we know motivation is the engine. We know action comes first. But I think we also need to talk about the different types of motivation, because I've heard people talk about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation before, and I think that's really important here.
Yes, absolutely. This is crucial. So there are two main types of motivation. Intrinsic motivation, that's the motivation that comes from inside you. It's when you do something because you genuinely enjoy it, because it matters to you personally, because it aligns with your values.
Like reading because you love learning, or painting because it makes you feel alive.
Perfect examples. And then there's extrinsic motivation. That's the motivation that comes from outside you. External rewards, money, grades, approval from other people, a promotion at work.
And which one is more powerful?
Research consistently shows that intrinsic motivation is more sustainable, more powerful, and more deeply connected to happiness and well-being. When you're doing something because you genuinely care about it, you can keep going even when it gets hard.
But extrinsic motivation isn't bad, right? Like, we all need to earn money. We all want people to appreciate our work.
Absolutely not bad. Extrinsic motivation can be a great starting point. It can get you going. But if it's the only reason you're doing something, it tends to run out. If you're only exercising to impress someone, the moment that person stops noticing, you stop going.
That is so real. I've seen that happen. I've done that. I signed up for a course once purely to put it on my resume, and I couldn't finish it because I just had zero interest in the actual content.
There it is, zero intrinsic motivation. So what we want to do is find or create intrinsic reasons to do the things we need to do. Connect the task to something that genuinely matters to you.
Connect the task to something that matters. I'm going to remember that.
All right, so now we understand what motivation is, but let's talk about why it disappears, because this is the part that really frustrates people, isn't it? You start something with so much energy and excitement, and then
it just evaporates, like mist in the morning. One day it's there, the next day it's just gone.
Exactly. And there are actually some very specific reasons why this happens. The first big one is something called the excitement gap.
The excitement gap. Okay, that sounds serious.
It is. So when you start something new, a new habit, a new project, a new goal, your brain releases dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical. It's the brain's reward system saying, yes, new thing, this is exciting, let's go.
Oh, dopamine, the good stuff.
The very good stuff. But here's the thing. Dopamine is not triggered by actually achieving the goal. It's triggered by the novelty, the newness of it. So after a few days or weeks, when the thing isn't new anymore, the dopamine drops, and suddenly you feel flat, uninspired, bored even.
Oh, wow. So our brain is essentially addicted to newness. And when the newness wears off, we lose interest.
That's a perfect way to describe it. And this is why so many people are what I call serial starters. They start a new diet, a new language, a new fitness routine. They're amazing for 2 weeks, and then they completely fall off.
Guilty, 100% guilty. I have started learning 3 different languages in the last 2 years.
And how many of them are you still learning?
I plead the 5th.
I won't push. But the point is, this is not a character flaw. It's biology. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do. The problem is that we've built our culture around this idea that you should always feel excited about what you're doing. And when the excitement fades, people think something is wrong with them or with the goal.
But actually, the excitement fading is just normal.
Completely normal. It happens to everyone. The difference is that motivated, consistent people don't wait for excitement to come back. They build systems that keep them going through the flat periods.
Systems. Okay, we're going to come back to that. But first, what are the other reasons motivation disappears?
The second big reason is unrealistic expectations, and this one is huge. People set goals that are too big, too vague, or too far in the future, and when they don't see results quickly, they think it's not working and they give up.
Like someone who starts going to the gym in January expecting to have a completely different body by February.
Exactly. And when February comes and they still don't look like a fitness model, they decide the gym doesn't work and they quit.
Which is heartbreaking, really, because they just needed more time.
More time, more patience, and more realistic expectations. Progress is almost never linear. It doesn't go up in a straight line. It's messy. It goes up, then sideways, then down a little, then up again. And people who stick through that messy middle are the ones who eventually get to where they want to be.
The messy middle. I love that phrase. So the messy middle is basically where most people quit, but also where the real growth happens.
Beautifully said. Exactly right. And then the third reason motivation disappears, and this one is very personal to me, is decision fatigue.
Oh, tell me about that. I've heard of it, but I don't fully understand it.
So every single decision we make, even small ones, uses mental energy. What to eat, what to wear, what to reply to that text message, what task to do first. By the time the afternoon rolls around, our brain is genuinely tired from all those decisions, and motivation requires mental energy. So when your mental tank is empty, motivation is one of the first things to disappear.
Oh my gosh, that explains so much about why I'm so good in the mornings and so useless in the evenings.
Same. And this is actually why incredibly productive people, think of artists, writers, entrepreneurs, often have very simple, almost boring daily routines. Same breakfast, same outfit, same morning ritual. They're conserving their decision-making energy for the things that actually matter.
That makes so much sense. Like they're not being boring, they're being strategic.
Exactly. They're protecting their energy, which leads us perfectly into the practical strategies. How do you actually stay motivated every day?
Okay, I want to get really practical now, because I know a lot of people listening are saying, okay, this all sounds great, but what does an actually motivated day look like? What do you do from the moment you wake up?
Right, let's talk morning routines. Because how you start your day has an enormous ripple effect on everything that follows.
I've heard so much about morning routines. Wake up at 5 a.m., cold shower, meditate for an hour, run 5 miles.
And I think that kind of extreme morning routine content actually does more harm than good for most people. Because people watch it, they think they have to do all of that, they try it for 3 days, they fail, and then they feel worse than before.
Right. It sets up an impossible standard.
Exactly. Here's my philosophy. A great morning routine is one that you can actually do consistently, even if it's 20 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes. Small and consistent beats big and occasional every time.
So, what does your actual morning look like? Not the Instagram version, the real one.
Ha, okay, real version. I wake up, not at 5 a.m., let me be clear. I wake up and the first thing I do is I don't touch my phone.
Oh, that's so hard.
It is hard, but it makes a massive difference. Because the moment you check your phone, you are immediately reactive. You're responding to other people's agendas, emails, news, social media. You've handed over control of your mental state before your day has even started.
Okay, that's actually a really powerful way to look at it. You're giving away your attention before you've even had a chance to set your own direction for the day.
Precisely. So I give myself the first 30 minutes as mine. I drink water, I move my body, nothing crazy, maybe 10 minutes of stretching. I review my goals and my why. And I identify the one most important thing I want to accomplish that day.
Just one thing?
Just one. There's a concept called the most important task, your MIT. If you do nothing else today, what is the one thing that would make today feel successful? Write it down. Do it first before you do anything else.
Because if you do it first, even if the rest of the day goes sideways, you've already won.
You've already won the day, exactly. And that sense of having won, even before noon, it does something remarkable for your motivation and your confidence for the rest of the day.
Okay, I want to ask you about something else, energy management. Because I think a lot of people talk about time management, but I actually think energy is more important.
You are so right. And this is something that doesn't get talked about enough. You can have 24 hours in a day, but if you're running on no sleep, no nutrition, and constant stress, those hours are worth almost nothing in terms of what you can actually accomplish.
So managing your energy is actually more important than managing your clock.
There's actually a brilliant book on this by Jim Lohr and Tony Schwartz called The Power of Full Engagement, and their central idea is exactly that. Performance, health, and happiness are all grounded in managing your energy, not your time.
And what are the main sources of energy we should be protecting?
They identify 4. Physical energy, sleep, nutrition, movement; emotional energy, your relationships, your sense of well-being, how you process emotions; mental energy, your focus, your cognitive capacity; and spiritual energy, your sense of purpose, your values, your why.
And if any of those tanks are empty?
Your whole performance suffers. It's like a 4-legged table. Remove one leg and the whole thing becomes unstable.
So taking care of yourself, sleeping well, eating well, exercising, spending time with people you love, it's not a distraction from your goals. It's actually the foundation of achieving them.
Yes, and this is so countercultural, especially in hustle culture, which tells you to sacrifice sleep, sacrifice relationships, sacrifice everything for the goal. But the evidence is very clear. Sustainable high performance comes from recovery and renewal, not from grinding yourself into the ground.
Rest is productive. I think that's such an important message. Rest is not laziness. Rest is preparation.
Write that down. Rest is preparation. It's the time when your body recovers, your brain consolidates what you've learned, and your creative ideas actually show up.
Some of my best ideas have come in the shower or right before I fall asleep.
Because your conscious mind has stopped trying so hard, and your subconscious gets a chance to work. Rest is when the magic happens behind the scenes.
Okay, yes, this is the part I've been waiting for. Give me the good stuff.
All right, let's start with number 1, and this is the foundation of everything. You have to know your why.
Know your why. Simon Sinek, right? Start with why.
Exactly. The idea is that the deeper reason behind your goal is more motivating than the goal itself. I want to lose weight is a weak why. I want to have enough energy to play with my children without getting exhausted. That's a powerful why.
Because it's emotional. It's connected to something real in your life.
Exactly. And here's a technique I love. It's called the 5 whys. You ask yourself why 5 times. So let's say your goal is to learn English. Why do you want to learn English?
Because I want to get a better job.
Why do you want a better job?
Because I want to earn more money.
Why do you want to earn more money?
Because I want to provide a better life for my family.
Why is that important to you?
Because my parents worked so hard and sacrificed so much for me. And I want to honor that. I want to make them proud.
There it is. That's the real why. And when you're sitting at your desk at 11 o'clock at night, feeling exhausted and wondering why you're studying, you think about that. You think about your parents. That's what keeps you going.
Okay, that actually gave me chills. I genuinely felt that. So the exercise is dig deep. Keep asking why until you hit something emotional, something real.
Exactly. Write it down. Put it somewhere you can see it every day. Your phone screensaver, a sticky note on your desk, on your mirror, because when motivation drops, and it will drop, your why will pull you forward.
I love this. Okay, what's the second strategy?
Strategy number 2, make it stupidly easy to start.
Stupidly easy. Okay, that's an interesting way to put it.
There's a principle I follow called the 2-minute rule. The idea is simple. If you want to build a habit or take action on something, make the starting point so small, so easy, that you'd feel almost ridiculous not doing it.
So instead of I'm going to study English for 2 hours today, you say,
I'm going to open my English textbook and read 1 page. That's it. 1 page, 2 minutes.
but then what happens?
More often than not, you don't stop at 1 page. Because starting is the hardest part. Once you're in motion, inertia takes over. You think, oh, I'm already here. I'll do a few more pages.
So the 2-minute rule isn't really about doing something for 2 minutes. It's about tricking your brain into starting.
Perfectly put. It's a Jedi mind trick on yourself. Lower the barriers so low that there's no excuse not to do it.
I love the idea of tricking your own brain. It sounds sneaky, but it works.
Your brain is not always your ally, Sarah. Sometimes you have to outsmart it.
Okay, what's number 3?
Number 3, design your environment.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that your environment, the physical space around you, has an enormous impact on your motivation and behavior, far more than most people realize. The things you see, the things within reach, the things that are convenient, they shape what you do.
So if you want to read more, you put books on your coffee table instead of your phone.
Exactly. If you want to eat healthier, you put fruit on the counter and put the chips in a cupboard that's hard to reach. If you want to exercise more, you sleep in your gym clothes.
Wait, you sleep in your gym clothes?
I've done it. It works. When your alarm goes off in the morning and you're already dressed, there's a lot less friction between you and the gym.
That is both brilliant and slightly concerning.
Motivation is about removing friction. The harder you make it to do the bad thing, and the easier you make it to do the good thing, the more likely you are to actually do it.
So you're designing your life in a way that makes good choices almost automatic.
You are becoming a motivation architect, designing the conditions for your own success.
I want that on a t-shirt, Motivation Architect. Okay, keep going. What's 4?
Number 4, track your progress visibly.
Okay, like keeping a journal?
Like keeping a journal or using an app, or one of my personal favorites, the paper chain method. You get a big wall calendar. Every day that you complete your habit or your goal task, you draw a big red X on that day. After a few days, you start building a chain of X's, and then the motivation becomes, don't break the chain.
Oh, that's so satisfying. I can imagine looking at a long chain of red X's and thinking, I am not breaking this today.
Right? It's almost gamified. And the reason it works is because of something called the progress principle. Research shows that the single biggest motivator in daily life is making progress on meaningful work, even small progress. Just seeing that you moved forward today, that is incredibly motivating.
So we're not just working toward the big goal, we're celebrating the small wins along the way.
Celebrate the small wins. This is so important and so underrated. Most people are extremely hard on themselves. They focus on how far they still have to go rather than how far they've already come, and that's exhausting and demoralizing.
I am definitely guilty of that. I could study English for 3 hours, and at the end, instead of feeling proud of the 3 hours, I'm thinking about how much I still don't know.
And that mindset kills motivation. Flip it. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I do today? What did I learn? What small step did I take? And acknowledge it. Genuinely give yourself credit.
This feels a bit like being kind to yourself, which sounds simple but is actually really difficult.
It is genuinely difficult for a lot of people, especially high achievers who have very high standards for themselves. But self-compassion is not weakness. It's actually what keeps you going long-term.
Okay, can I just pause here for a second? Because if you're listening to this right now, whether you're on your way to work, at the gym, cooking dinner, or just relaxing somewhere, I hope this conversation is genuinely helping you.
If it is, if you're getting value from this, we would absolutely love it if you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really does make a huge difference to us.
And leave a comment below. Tell us which of these strategies resonates most with you. Are you a know your why person, a 2-minute rule person? Let us know. We read every single comment.
Okay, back to the good stuff.
Okay, I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about the people around us, because I think who we surround ourselves with has a massive impact on how motivated we are.
Oh, this is huge, enormous. There's a saying, and I believe it deeply. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Jim Rohn.
Yes, give that woman a gold star. Exactly, Jim Rohn. And what this means is that motivation is contagious. When you're around people who are ambitious, curious, disciplined, and excited about life, that energy rubs off on you.
And when you are around people who are negative, who complain constantly, who tell you your dreams are too big,
It drags you down, even if you don't want it to, even if you're aware of it. The social influence is that powerful.
okay, but here's the uncomfortable part. What if the negative people in your life are your family, your partner, people you can't exactly just swap out for more motivated versions?
That's such a real and important question. And I want to be sensitive here because I know for a lot of people, this is genuinely complicated. You can't always choose your family.
Right, you can't fire your mom.
You cannot fire your mom. But what you can do is be very intentional about where else you put your energy. Join communities of people who share your goals, a language learning group, a fitness class, a professional network, an online community. Find your people.
Find your people, because even if your immediate environment isn't supportive, you can build a community that is.
And the effect is real and measurable. When you join a group of people who are all working towards similar goals, your own performance goes up. It's called social facilitation. We perform better when others are around, doing the same thing.
This is why study groups work, why running clubs work, why mastermind groups work.
Exactly. And accountability is a massive part of this. When someone else knows about your goal, when you've made a commitment to another human being, you are significantly more likely to follow through. Because now it's not just about letting yourself down, it's about letting someone else down. And most people find that much harder.
So finding an accountability partner is one of the most powerful things you can do for your motivation.
One of the most powerful. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as texting a friend every evening, "Here's what I accomplished today." That little bit of external accountability is incredibly motivating.
I've done that with a friend of mine. We check in with each other every morning and every night about our goals. And honestly, on the days I really don't want to do anything, I still do it because I don't want to have to tell her I did nothing.
That's exactly it. Positive peer pressure. Used wisely, it's incredibly effective.
Okay, I also want to talk about social media because I think for a lot of people, social media is both a source of inspiration and a massive motivation killer.
Yes, it's a double-edged sword. On one side, you can follow incredible people, learn things, get inspired. On the other side, it can become a comparison trap. You see someone's highlight reel, their perfect body, their dream job, their beautiful home, and suddenly your own life feels inadequate.
And inadequacy is the enemy of motivation.
It really is. Because when you feel like you're so far behind, so much less than someone else, it's easy to think, what's the point? If I can't have what they have, why even try?
So how do we use social media wisely?
Curate ruthlessly. Unfollow anyone who consistently makes you feel bad about yourself. Follow people who inspire you without making you feel inadequate. Use it intentionally, not passively scrolling, but deliberately seeking out things that add to your life. And set time limits. Don't let it eat into your most productive hours.
Curate ruthlessly. I like that. It's your feed. You decide what goes in it.
Your social media is essentially a reflection of your values and priorities. If your feed is filled with negativity, drama, and comparison, that's what your mind is absorbing all day. Fill it with things that make you think, grow, and move forward.
All right, so we have the strategies, but I want to dig a little deeper into the mindset side. Because I think you can know all the strategies in the world, but if your mindset isn't right, it's like having a beautiful car with no engine.
That is a great analogy. And you're absolutely right. The mindset is the engine. And the most important mindset shift, I think, is moving from an outcome mindset to a process mindset.
Say that again. What's the difference?
An outcome mindset is when your motivation is entirely attached to the end result. I'll be happy when I lose 20 kilos. I'll be motivated when I get the promotion. I'll feel successful when I finish my degree. Your happiness and motivation are on hold, waiting for the destination.
And the process mindset?
A process mindset is when you find meaning and even enjoyment in the daily doing. You're not just running to reach the finish line. You're learning to love the run itself.
Okay, but honestly, that sounds really nice in theory. But in practice, it's hard to love the process when the process is boring or difficult.
Fair point.
Really fair point. And I'm not saying you have to love every single moment. Some parts of the process are just hard work. But here's the shift. Instead of asking, how quickly can I get this done? You start asking, what can I learn from this? How can I do this better? What's interesting about this challenge?
You're changing the question. And changing the question changes your relationship with the work.
Exactly. When you're curious, you're engaged. When you're engaged, you're motivated. When you're motivated, you do better work. See the loop?
I do see the loop. And it all starts with asking a different question.
Let me give you a real example. When I started this podcast, I was completely focused on the numbers. How many listeners? How many subscribers? How fast are we growing? And I'll be honest, it was exhausting. I'd check the numbers every day and feel anxious.
I remember that phase. You were not fun to work with.
I was terrible. I was stressed, I was inconsistent, and ironically, the content was actually worse because I was so focused on the outcome.
And then something changed.
Something changed. I decided to stop looking at the numbers every day and focus on one thing, making each episode as good as I possibly could, bringing something genuinely useful to the conversation, being present. And you know what happened?
The numbers went up?
The numbers went up, but more importantly, I actually started enjoying making the podcast again. The motivation came back naturally because I fell back in love with the process.
That is such a powerful story. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Whether it's their career, their studies, their creative projects, getting too attached to the outcome actually makes the outcome less likely.
There's a beautiful paradox there, isn't there? Letting go of the outcome often helps you achieve it.
Okay, I want to talk about one more mindset thing. And this is something I personally struggle with, dealing with failure. Because I think one of the biggest motivation killers is failing at something and then just completely shutting down.
Oh, this is so important and such a common experience. Can you tell me more about what that looks like for you personally?
Sure. So I'll set a goal, I'll be doing really well, and then I'll have a bad day. I'll miss my study session, or I'll eat badly, or I'll skip the gym. And instead of thinking, okay, that was one bad day, tomorrow I'll get back on track, I spiral. I think, well, I've already ruined it, there's no point now. And then one bad day becomes a bad week, becomes a bad month.
This is called the what the hell effect, and it is extremely well documented in psychology.
The what the hell effect? Is that the real name?
That is the actual psychological term, yes. It describes the phenomenon where one small failure causes people to completely abandon all restraint. I already had one cookie. What the hell? I'll eat the whole box.
Oh my gosh, I do that. I do that with cookies, I do that with Netflix. I already watched one episode at midnight. What the hell? I'll watch 5.
We all do it. It's completely human. But here's the mindset shift. Never miss twice.
Never miss twice. What does that mean?
It means that missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. So you give yourself permission, full, genuine permission to have a bad day, to miss a session, to make a mistake. But you commit to showing up the next day, no matter what.
So the goal isn't perfection. The goal is consistency. And consistency doesn't mean never failing. It means always getting back up.
You just said it better than I ever have. That's it exactly. And here's the thing about resilience. The people who are most consistent are not the people who never fail. They are the people who recover the fastest.
Recovery speed. That's the real skill.
That is the real skill. How quickly can you dust yourself off and get back in the game? That's what separates people who reach their goals from people who don't.
I think this is one of the most important things we've said today, because I think so many people out there feel like they're failing because they have bad days. But bad days are not failure. Quitting is failure.
Beautifully said. I want that on a wall somewhere.
Okay, we've talked about so many great strategies, but I want to be honest about something. Even with all of these things in place, even when you know your why, you have good habits, you have your community, you're managing your energy, there are still days that are just hard. Days when nothing works. Days when you feel completely empty.
Yes, and I think acknowledging that is really important because I don't want anyone listening to this to feel like there's something wrong with them because they still have hard days even after trying everything.
Hard days are part of the human experience. Full stop.
Full stop. And what I've learned, and what research supports, is that the goal is not to eliminate the hard days. The goal is to handle them better.
So what do you do on a really hard day? Like a day when you feel genuinely unmotivated and nothing is helping?
First thing, I give myself permission to have a bad day without adding the layer of guilt and self-criticism on top. I say to myself, okay, today is hard. That is allowed. This is temporary.
Acknowledging it without catastrophizing it.
Exactly. You can feel bad without telling yourself a story about how this is going to last forever and means you'll never succeed. That story is a lie, and it makes a temporary dip feel permanent.
Feelings are visitors. They come and they go.
I love that. Feelings are visitors, yes. And then the second thing I do on a hard day, I do something tiny, the smallest possible version of my most important habit. Even if it's just 2 minutes of meditation instead of 20. Even if it's just reading one page, just to keep the chain alive.
So you're not quitting. You're scaling down temporarily.
Scaling down temporarily, not giving up. There's a huge difference. Giving up is a decision. Scaling down is strategy.
I need to remember that distinction. Scaling down is not failing. It's being flexible.
And thirdly, on really hard days, I ask myself one question. What do I need right now? Not what should I be doing? Not what would a highly productive person do? What do I actually need in this moment?
And sometimes the honest answer is
Sleep. A good meal? A walk outside? A call with a friend? Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is take care of yourself.
because you're not a machine. You're a human being, and human beings have needs.
And meeting those needs is not indulgence. It's maintenance. You wouldn't skip maintaining your car and then wonder why it breaks down on the highway.
Ha! I love that analogy. Don't neglect your maintenance people.
All right, I want to do something fun because this is an English learning podcast, and I know a lot of our listeners are here to pick up natural vocabulary and expressions. Let's highlight some of the best ones we've used today.
Yes, great idea. Let's do it. And listeners, these are real expressions that native English speakers use every day. These are not textbook phrases. These are the real thing.
First one, running on empty. I use this at the very beginning, spending the whole day feeling like they're running on empty. What does it mean?
It means you have no energy left, like a car that's almost out of fuel. You're still going, but just barely.
I've been running on empty all week. I really need to sleep this weekend. Very natural, very common.
Next one, lose steam. I love this one. They start things with a lot of energy and then lose steam halfway through.
To lose steam means to gradually lose energy, enthusiasm, or momentum. Steam, of course, is the vapor that used to power old train engines. When the steam ran out, the train slowed down. Same idea.
We started the project with so much excitement, but after a few weeks, we really started to lose steam.
Perfect usage. Next, fall off.
Ah, yes, they're amazing for 2 weeks, and then they completely fall off. To fall off means to stop doing something consistently, to drop a habit.
I was going to the gym 5 times a week, but I fell off after I got busy with work.
Very relatable. Then break into the cycle. This one came up when we were talking about the motivation action loop.
The key is to break into the cycle by just starting. It means to enter or interrupt a pattern or process, usually from the outside.
You're forcing your way in, through the back door of action, as we said.
Yes, the back door of action. Then we had dust yourself off. This is such a classic English expression.
How quickly can you dust yourself off and get back in the game? It means to recover from failure or a setback and start again. Like literally dusting dirt off your clothes after you've fallen down.
It has a sense of dignity to it. You fall down, you stand up, you brush off the dirt, you carry on.
Very resilient sounding, very English.
And then one more, curate ruthlessly.
Oh, I loved this one. In the context of social media, curate ruthlessly. Unfollow anyone who consistently makes you feel bad about yourself. To curate means to carefully select and organize. Ruthlessly means without mercy, without hesitation.
You're making very deliberate, decisive choices about what you allow into your life. No room for sentimentality. If it doesn't serve you, it goes.
Strong energy. Curate ruthlessly.
All right, let's bring this all together because we've covered a lot of ground today, and I want to make sure our listeners leave with a really clear set of actions they can take starting today, not tomorrow, today.
Love it. Let's do the recap.
Action 1. Find your deep why. Ask why 5 times. Dig past the surface goal to the real emotional reason. Write it down. Put it somewhere visible.
Action 2, use the 2-minute rule. Start so small it feels almost silly. Open the book, tie your shoes, just start. The motivation will come once you're in motion.
Action 3. Design your environment. Make good choices easy. Make bad choices hard. Remove friction from the path to your goals.
Action 4, track progress visibly. Use a calendar, a journal, an app. See your wins, celebrate the small steps, never miss twice.
Action 5. Protect your energy. Sleep. Eat well. Move. Rest without guilt. Your energy is your most precious resource.
Action 6. Find your people. Build or join a community of people who share your goals. Get an accountability partner. Let positive peer pressure work in your favor.
Action 7. On hard days, scale down. Don't give up. Do the smallest possible version of your most important habit. Keep the chain alive. Feelings are visitors. They will pass.
And action 8, move from an outcome mindset to a process mindset. Fall in love with the daily doing. Find the curiosity, the challenge, the growth in the journey, not just the destination.
That's 8 powerful practical actions. And honestly, if you just applied even 2 or 3 of these consistently, your daily motivation would transform.
You don't have to do everything at once. Pick one. Start there. Remember, never miss twice.
Okay, before we wrap up, we have some questions for you, and we'd love for you to actually stop and think about these. Maybe pause the video, write your answers down, or even better, drop them in the comments.
Question 1. What is your deep why? If you're learning English right now, why are you really doing it? What's the real reason behind the reason? Tell us in the comments. We genuinely want to know.
Question 2. What is the one habit or goal that you keep starting and stopping? And after today's conversation, what do you think is really getting in your way? Is it the excitement gap, decision fatigue, the what the hell effect?
Question 3. If you could take only one strategy from today's conversation and apply it this week, which one would it be and why? Tell us in the comments.
And question 4, and this one is for the community. Does anyone out there want an accountability partner? Drop a comment below. Let's connect people who are working on similar goals. Let's build something together.
I love that idea. This community is one of the most supportive I've ever seen, honestly.
It really is, and we're so grateful for every single one of you.
Okay, that is a wrap on today's episode. What an incredible conversation.
I feel genuinely energized after this, which is somewhat ironic for a conversation about motivation.
Motivation about motivation. Very meta.
If you enjoyed this episode, please do hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are on the same journey as you.
And subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. We have some incredible topics coming up, and you do not want to miss them.
As always, thank you for spending your time with us. Whether you listened for 5 minutes or the whole way through, we appreciate you.
Keep learning, keep going, even on the hard days, especially on the hard days.
And remember, motivation is not something you wait for. It's something you build, one small action at a time.
Take care of yourselves, everyone.
See you in the next one.
Bye.